I truly was grateful to have a job. I was filing for unemployment, so this was a win.
Mena Suvari, one of the most famous Hollywood faces of her generation. But she says it was a mask, hiding a secret life of pain.
You describe in your memoir as living a double life.
I was just like catapulted
Into fame.
I didn't even really know what fame was. It wasn't something that I had ever wanted for myself.
Oh, hi.
It was 1999, Suvari starring in 2 blockbusters, American Beauty, which garnered 5 Academy Awards, and American Pie. The overnight fame thrusting a then 20-year-old Suvari into the spotlight.
There you were.
But underneath all those rose petals, Suvari says she was suffering in silence.
Because I was just sitting there. I had all my stuff on the floor. I was like living on the floor, like squalor. And then I'm like going to this mega $1 million set and people are sprinkling rose petals on me. And I had to perform because then at the same time, everybody wanted that from me because it was successful.
But you were such a good actress, even after they said cut, that no one knew.
Yeah, because I couldn't talk about those things.
But she says her troubles returned when she left the set.
You talk about being forced into extreme sexual encounters, essentially without feeling like you had the right to say no.
A person should have the ability to decide. And because I didn't feel that I did, it was just constantly like putting up with it. And it just caused me to completely unravel. When I was able to work on American Pie, that was everything, you know, for me.
You should do what makes you happy.
I mean, that gave me a whole sense of purpose and
normalcy.
Yeah, I mean, art saved my life.
Her memoir, The Great Peace, begins with her finding her old suicide note.
I mean, it was really any way out. I was desperate. But then it was sort of, I don't really know the right word, because I realized that my life got even worse after that. That I didn't know at the time that my life was going to get worse, and I was writing my suicide note. That was pretty sad.
Her sadness laced throughout her stories of sexual abuse through a series of bad relationships.
You describe at 12 losing your virginity against your will, essentially. How did that affect you, do you think, in the moment and rippling down the road?
It still affects me. I mean, a part of me died that day for sure. You're never the same. And then you live with the constant questioning of whether or not that really happened and whether or not you're entitled to consider it as such, which is even worse.
I've spoken to so many sexual assault survivors who say it happened at 12, and then I kept finding myself in vulnerable situations and sexually taken advantage of.
But see, what's amazing right now is even for me hearing that, because I didn't even know that, because you just feel alone. You don't think that those things are happening. I mean, who are you going to talk to about that?
So a lot of emotional abuse, you know, which often goes hand in hand, right?
I think so. I mean, it was ultimately like this process of like alienation. So it's constantly like, well, what is my value?
As Mena's modeling career took off, she said she started drinking and using a variety of drugs.
How seductive was meth for you?
You lose your mind on meth. You're in a completely different zone. And it was labeled as the worst thing in the world, but it will make you feel like you can do absolutely anything.
That sounds like the devil's invitation.
And I just thought, I had like nothing to lose, I felt.
Mena says her drug abuse continued for years before a friend helped her confront the darkness in her life.
It's like my friend Tracy, and she said it doesn't have to be like this. It struck me so deeply. I think I knew it, but I needed somebody to really like hold my hand. It's just important for people to know that you're not alone and that there's so much more. And I had to learn to trust in myself, trust in the process. I had to do the work to listen, to open myself up.
Now the 42-year-old's world is filled with happiness and hope. Michael Hope, her husband and father to their baby boy, born this April.
Just miraculous. I never thought that, something so beautiful would happen for me, for us, something that I'd always hoped for.
Her story of surviving and thriving aimed at helping others.
I've always sort of said if I could shave off a summer of suffering for someone, that I wanted to do that because I felt like I didn't have that person in my life.
You kept those secrets so bottled up, and now you're literally releasing them into the world. What does that feel like?
Liberating, yeah. So it feels good to be transparent. I like living my life in an authentic way that feels good to me, that works for me.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.